great to spend the day together. So the best, what I've learned over the years as a rabbi is that the best way to inspire is to lead a farbrengen. If you hang around Chabad houses, you know what a farbrengen is. Right? Everybody know what a farbrengen is? Who doesn't know what a farbrengen is? Somebody pass the vodka around. So a farbrengen is, it means to come together and to, we sing songs, we say a little l'chaim, we share what's on the heart. So it's basically, it's supposed to be anyway, a non-agenda driven gathering. It's like group therapy with alcohol. Or therapy with alcohol, depends on how many people you're with. Anyway, so I want to share just a few reflections, just some thoughts that have been kind of bubbling in my head and my heart these last few days. And the goal of the farbrengen is that if it inspires you, great, and if not, you can just leave it there. So I've been on every time I've come to Israel, maybe just the first time when my father took me and my siblings, all 11 of us, about 2 years after my mother passed away, brought us to Israel. That was his agenda. He had an agenda then, which was to, try to keep the family together or something like that. But other than that first trip, every time I've come to Israel, I've had an agenda. I came here to have fun. I came here to study. I came here to become a moil. I took my family here many years ago, spent the summer here and became a moil. And then I've been on many Federation missions, and I had my own agendas on those missions. Federation had their agenda, but I had my agenda. Anyway, it's been, every trip has been agenda driven. I would say that this is probably the first trip coming to Israel that I had no agenda other than to be in Israel. Since the war started, since the massacres of October 7th, every Jew's heart has been in Israel, and I wanted to bring my physical heart here, not just my spiritual heart. And Dina and I decided that we were going to come to Israel no matter what. If people from our community came, great. If not, we would just come alone. I am glad that Ken and Sheila Block are here, who joined us from Atlanta. And I can't say, as difficult as this has been, I'm really happy that we decided to come, to be here during this time in our history. Monday, when we landed, was a slow entry. The blood bank, it was a fairly easy entry. Tuesday morning, when we set out, I knew it was going to be a tough day, but as I opened up the portion of the Chumash for that day, of the weekly Torah portion, the section for Tuesday, and we read about the death, the untimely passing of the sons of Aaron. But the Torah tells us they were burnt. The Torah section brought to mind very quickly the unspeakable horror, the inability to explain what took place here, and Aaron's response that the Torah tells us, Vayidom Aaron, that Aaron was silent, was a completely appropriate response. Now, when we say silent, maybe in Aaron's case he didn't cry. I don't think silent means that there's no emotional expression. It just means you don't try to justify, excuse, talk away. By the way, there were these delicious snacks that were Ruth was passing out, and the first thing I thought of when I saw the box of snacks was, okay, I'm going to go eat my feelings. because there were a lot of feelings in that apartment that needed to be eaten. But what's that? They needed to be fed, yeah. But something struck me this morning on the way to Hebron. So today, yesterday, and the day before were profound days of intense emotion. And this morning, when I woke up and I said, okay, we're going to have a little bit of a slower day today. Today is a day of prayer. Today we're going to go to Kever Rachel. We're going to go to Rachel's tomb. We're going to go to Hebron. We're going to pray at the resting places of our forefathers and mothers. And I really was not expecting what just took place in that apartment. But I'm glad that we went to Kever Rachel first, because something struck me today that I think for me is very real. And that is that we live in a time right now where the world, the negativity and the hatred that's in the world, there's just a ton of unhealthy emotion being put out there. And our job is to take the unhealthy emotion and convert it into healthy emotion. And healthy emotion is a willingness to just be with what is, to be with a recognition that Hashem is present. And it struck me when Mrs. Goodman was reading the verses regarding Rachel, that it says that she refuses to be comforted. What does that mean, that she refuses to be comforted? So if you imagine somebody who is in pain, suffering the loss of a loved one, and people come in and they say nice things to them, they make them feel a little better, right? Or if somebody's struggling with faith around some loss, then a rabbi comes, or somebody else who's knowledgeable, and tries to give them some context from a faith basis. Love Israeli roads. Wow. That's crazy, huh? Oh, Arabic. Only the Arabs do that. So the idea of the words of comfort are meant to assuage the discomfort, meant to make the uncomfortable feelings a little bit easier. And I'm if it's okay, like, I don't mean to make anybody uncomfortable, but like, I'm just going to talk about like real deep emotions. Like when you're standing and you hear somebody sharing something raw, or you are sitting in Nero's, or sitting with a soldier, and like these intense feelings of emotion come up. There was somebody yesterday. He's back again. Same guy. So when there was somebody yesterday who told me that from when he landed he wanted to cry, but he couldn't cry until yesterday when he came to Hostage Square. He was able to cry. Like, why do people want to cry? Because when you cry, you feel like you're releasing the emotion. You don't have to be with the discomfort of the emotion. But then once we start crying, we stop crying. Like we try to stop the crying. So we whimper, or we like take a tissue to our face so that we don't have to express the crying. But what Rachel is telling us is, I refuse to be comforted. I'm going to be with what is. In other words, there's an injustice here from a human perspective that we're experiencing. This doesn't make sense to us. I'm not going to eat my feelings or feed my feelings. I'm not going to rationalize them. I'm not going to excuse it. I mean, you see what's going on in the world. The world is uncomfortable with the fact that Israel is destroying evil. So what do? They blame Israel, right? Because it's easier to blame Israel than to be uncomfortable that there's such a thing as evil in the world that needs to be eradicated. So Rachel Imenu, our Matriarch Rachel, refuses to be comforted. Because comfort can only come from Hashem. Hashem is the only one that really can bring us the real comfort. And that is to restore our people, to bring back those that have died sacrifice themselves for their brothers and sisters. As the prophet says, Nachamu Nachamu Ami, Hashem says that I myself will comfort the people. So it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to be with what is. On the contrary, I think this is we carry that responsibility. We who have chosen to come to Israel, at least that's in our consciousness, we chose, but Hashem chose for us to be here, and we have to carry that back with us into the diaspora, back into the United States or wherever we're from, to bring an awareness that our people are strong, our people are hurting, and that we have to identify with our Jewish core, with our neshama, and to let that shine forth, not to be afraid of it, and to let it shine forth and let that light bring that powerful influence on the world around us. And may Hashem really be the one to bring us comfort speedily in our days. Amen. Thank you for listening. L'chaim.
Whoa.